An accused cop killer behind bars tonight, charged with first-degree murder. Good evening. I'm Micah Mater.
And I'm Mark Sapelsa. Our top story seen around the country on WGN America tonight is that cop killer behind bars, the alleged and accused. We go now to Dan Ponce, who's got our top story.
Mark and Micah, Superintendent Jody Weiss says he is confident they have the right man. He also expressed satisfaction and relief that a killer is no longer on the street. The suspect is only 19 years old, but he already has an extensive criminal history. 19-year-old Thomas Herring Jr. was sentenced to 6 years in prison for armed robbery back in 2007, but has been out on parole since September. Now, police say he is the man who shot and killed Chicago police officer Michael Flisk and former Chicago Housing Authority officer Stephen Peters. Friday afternoon on the 8100 block of South Manistee, Officer Flisk, an evidence technician, was processing a crime scene after Stephen Peters called in a burglary. Police say the suspect snuck up behind them and shot them to death.
The weapons recovered were in their holsters, so it appears that this individual snuck up on them and they never had a chance to defend themselves. But that will, hopefully that will play out later in court, but that's what we know at this time.
In a news conference tonight, police would not release much information about the investigation, but said they believe Herring killed the two men because he was trying to cover up an earlier burglary he had committed.
I can't give a lot of details right now, but the subject simply did not want to be caught for doing a burglary. He's already on parole as it was, and didn't want to be apprehended for an earlier burglary.
Superintendent Jody Weiss says police investigators were able to catch Herring quickly. He lives across the alley where the shooting happened. He was arrested over the weekend, but formal charges didn't come down until late this afternoon.
We had every capacity of the Chicago Police Department working 24 hours a day on this. We had our organized crime division, we had the detectives, we had our crime lab, we had our evidence folks, the district law, the TAC teams. You take every asset we had and we used it, and in about 3 days we have an individual charged.
Another man is also facing charges in connection with these killings. 22-year-old Timothy Willis is charged with unlawful possession of a firearm and obstruction of justice. He and Timothy Herring will appear in bond court later this week. Prosecutors say Timothy Herring is eligible for the death penalty. Mark and Micah.
Dan Ponce at police headquarters. Thanks. A hostage standoff at a high school in Wisconsin over tonight.